Budget Unkillable. What is it all about? We've got a PainKEEper along with a Maneater, and this is just an amazing feat of engineering. The reason why you've never seen me do a team like this before is because I've always had two Maneaters. I've done the Bat Eater comp. I have two videos on doing two Maneaters as a team for the Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. And then I have a video, I think, on me doing the Bat Eater comp. And that's it, because once I can do the Clan Boss one key with my Draco, I am out. I don't try to play around with the Clan Boss. So for me, this was fun. We did this the last 2 days on stream. We've been testing out so many different things, but I will say that the Budget Unkillable with one Maneater, one PainKEEper, it's very touchy, and you have to be careful what affinity you have, what slowest person you have, but it's an amazing feat of engineering to watch this happen. So I'm so glad we built this, because now I can understand it and I can really appreciate what's going on here. We're going to go over everything I've learned so far from the 2 days of doing this Budget Unkillable. I think originally Cold Brew did a video about this because he saw some Russian person do a video, and then he did the video showing it. And then since that time, this is a long time ago, Deadwood Jedi and a whole bunch of other people, maybe even Cold Brew. I don't know who deserves credit out there, but give credit where credit's due. That's fine. I don't know. But I can tell you that all this information is always on Deadwood Jedi's website, which I'll leave a link to down below. And of course, that's where I got this info. I got the info on the speeds we need for this Maneater, the PainKEEper, the DPS here, the stun target. Again, when you watch this play out, even if you have an unkillable comp or you have a non-unkillable comp, you're going to really appreciate this. And if you're one of those people out there that only have one Maneater and one PainKEEper, you're going to love this. To do damage on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, to 2-key it, especially if you have Geomancer. Don't forget, we are still showcasing Geomancer because he's one of the top damage dealers on the Clan Boss, hands down. Just a phenomenal epic champion for doing damage on the Clan Boss. The rotation you have to be careful about for Spirit Affinity. Wait to use PainKEEPer's A2 until turn count 5. So that's a little tricky. There's not a lot of explanation on there, and we've been doing Spirit Affinity. We're going to do Spirit Affinity today, actually, because that's where we're at. If you want to get the most damage out of Geomancer, you got to do it when the Clan Boss is under 50% HP, because we want to take those two big slams. Those two big slams make it so Geomancer reflects back all 5, as long as there is a burn up on the Clan Boss. So make sure the burn has to come from Geomancer. That burn, you don't want to put anybody else on your team that has a burn, or you want to lock that burn out. We can do that with the AI now. Make sure it has to be a burn that comes from Geomancer, and then anytime any of our allies take damage, he's going to reflect back, and we can get a Giant Slayer off that reflect. So you always want to fight the Clan Boss. Not always. I mean, I fought him above 50% HP, and we got 41 million. So that's still a 2-key. And then I fought him below 51% HP, and he's hitting twice as often on those AoEs, and Geomancer went up to like 25 million damage. So we were at, I don't know, 57 million for 1 key. 57 million, and we're not using any legendaries, and we're using a PainKEEper Maneater. You're going to see it in just a minute. So there's a lot of caveats to this team, though, because then when you switch to Nightmare, you got to make your slowest person here, the stun target right here at the bottom, speed of 121. So I've got a special 3-star shield to put on my Geomancer, because right now I have Geomancer as my stun target. It's actually probably beneficial to not have Geomancer as your stun target, to have him as one of your DPS, and then to have somebody else as your stun target. Now we have to wait. I think Geomancer is missing some damage, but not a lot. I don't think it's going to matter. Geomancer is crazy on the Clan Boss, and this team is phenomenal. So I'll leave a link to this down below if you plan on making it. Here are all the details through it, but let's talk about my team so far. So we've got them in here. We have the speeds that you just saw. Actually, I can bring this back. You see the speeds right here. So we've got the speeds we've needed. On this one for Nightmare, I am at 240 to 241 with my Maneater. I'm at 222, I think, with my PainKEEper. And I'm at 175 to 178 for these two DPS for our Feign and our Ogre and Occult Brawler. Occult Brawler has his A2 locked out. We'll go and show you all their lockouts. And then the stun target here, which is our slowest person, which we need to put in a lead position, is at 111 to 118. And then I put that 3-star shield set that gives them enough speed to be at exactly 121. Now, if you fail with this comp, get with your friends, get with your people on Discord, come to my Discord. It can fail. It's a very touchy comp to do, but when it works, and it will work once you get it down, it will work for you. It's a beautiful thing to see. Now, I'm not going to jump into it just yet. We're going to go over here and look at these champions and look at their masteries. Masteries are very important on any unkillable. Even if it's a 2 Maneater unkillable like I run right now, I could also run the Salad Eater if I wanted to. I'll run the Bat Eater comp on my Draco Morph, 1 key, no problem. So I don't feel like I need to switch. But always be mindful with whatever masteries you have. You've got to be very, very careful. Also, with the stun target on this budget one, make sure the stun target does not have Life Drinker, but make sure everybody else does have Life Drinker. Like you see my Maneater here. This is my Maneater number 3. Just go with this general rule of thumb. Don't ever get anything that's going to lower a skill cooldown because it will throw the unkillable off on like 90% of them out there, and never get anything that's going to give you a turn meter increase. See all these ones right here, turn meter increase right here if your allies are critically hit. Also, you should not do Lore of Steel. There's a lot of stuff always been about going around about this, about true speed. This can mess up your unkillable comp. So it's just best to just don't worry about ever picking Lore of Steel. I know there's ways to get around it. You can go use a calculator. I get it. But to be simplistic, to do the easiest, to make sure that your unkillable comp has no issues, don't get anything that's going to increase turn meter, nothing that's going to lower skill cooldowns, and then again, nothing that's going to don't get Lore of Steel. Okay, none of those. So all these are safe. Make sure you get Life Drinker on this budget unkillable with the 1 Maneater, 1 PainKEEper. Make sure you get Life Drinker on everybody but your stun target, the slowest person. This is my stun target. So he's got Giant Slayer on because we're using his Reflect. This guy Geomancer doesn't do any damage off his A1, A2, A3. We're not worried about any of that. He's got to get the burn up though, so we need accuracy. He's going to put a burn and a weaken up. And we're not trying to get damage from those skills. What we're going to get damage from is him doing all these reflects back to the clan boss and giving us an enormous amount of damage. Again, the highest damage that I've seen out of any epic in the game. Hands down, like doubling all the other epics damage. Easily. So if you've got this guy, if you've got even a 2 Maneater unkillable comp, put Geomancer in there right now. Get him in your team, and if you're not one keying and you've got like a Draco in there with your 2 Maneaters, you've got a Vizier, you're going to one key. You're going to start one keying it with the damage this guy can do. So we've got him. We've got Fane coming in here. Fane is one of our DPSers. Again, all the other people need to have what we talked about, right? We've got that. We've got War Master. I don't know if Fane's actually cycling through her abilities fast enough. Attack 1 enemy, attack 3 enemies, attack 2 times. Maybe Fane, if she cycles through this enough, would benefit from Giant Slayer. I don't think so. Okay, so we're going to go on to, who's the next one? We got Occult Brawler. We're locking out his A2. Occult Brawler's coming in there. You have to do HP and defense. All my other champions on the team, besides my stun target, has to have 2,000 or above defense. You heard that, right? 2,000 or above defense. And they all need to have lower HP than our stun target. And you can see all that over here from this video. Right? From this video, if you scroll down here, they talk about the HP of the stun target should be the highest out of the whole entire team and the lowest defense. I know it's going to be hard to follow all this, but that's how it is, right? The stun target has to have the highest HP, just a little bit higher than everybody else, and the lowest defense. And then everybody else on your team needs to have 2,000 or above defense. So get above 2,000 defense and lower HP. The PainKEEper needs to have HP right below the stun target. Right here you can see the difference. You can read through all of this. It sounds like a lot. It does. And it was a little bit to play with, but it's really not that bad. All I did was go over here and I made sure that our Occult Brawler doesn't have a helmet. We're on an unkillable comp. I don't need to worry about anything. You know, who cares if we don't have a helmet? I got his HP down by that because the HP helmet was giving him too much HP. He has really high base HP. We got him at the speed we need, and then we've got the defense. We got the defense up, and that's on everyone. Fane over here as well as low, right? She's got low HP. That's great. We got her over 2,000 defense. Now, this has all been tested out by everybody, so don't ask why you need that. Just do it. Just do it. Otherwise, that stun target will not go to our Geomancer, which we need. The slowest person on the team. You're going to see again, it's a beautiful feat of engineering. You're going to see the clan boss do the double stun on everybody when we have it unkillable from that 1 PainKEEper. And then our slow person is going to have that unkillable on still and block debuffs for that 1 slam that the boss does. The single target slam, and it's going to be our slowest person here, and then this person's going to be fine. And that's how the unkillable. 50 rounds on this type of unkillable. It's beautiful. Such a beautiful comp. What else do we have? We have Frozen Banshee. Frozen Banshee here, same thing. High defense, low HP, the speeds we need, and that's it. Nothing funny to go with her Masteries here. Same old, actually, let's get some additional damage there. We'll take it, and that's it. All right, we'll leave the rest as it is. Let's run this comp so you can see what I'm talking about. If you have any questions whatsoever, refer to this website down below. But that's it. You get the speed you need. And then again, to do Nightmare, I come in there and I put an additional shield, a 3-star shield on my Geomancer, and I'm able to do Nightmare. Now, there are going to be, you're going to have to switch out. You can't do, I can do 3 of the clan bosses with this. But as my stun target being Geomancer, he's Force, go up against a Magic Affinity, I'm going to have to switch that out because the Magic Affinity boss will not select that person as the stun target. I'll have to bring somebody else in as our stun target, like a Magic Affinity or a Spirited Affinity for that. So you are going to have different people on these kind of comps, on these budget unkillables, and I'm going to do more of these budget unkillables, so you'll see more of these soon, because I like to play around with these champions. I like to see what kind of damage we can do with fun champions like this, so it's kind of enjoyable to do something different. Now, on Spirit Affinity, if you read those notes, I hope we're not on full auto. Spirit Affinity, when you read it, we have to do quite a bit differently. So here it is. We're going to do A3 Maneater, A3 PainKEEper, and then we're going to do A1 with the PainKEEper because she's going to get a slow speed on her from the Spirit Affinity boss. Here we go. So we're doing A3 with the PainKEEper. You can do whatever else you want with these 3 DPS. It does not matter. Right, so we're going to do A3 here. We are going to do our A1. And then we're going to wait. For Geomancer, since he's the slow person, and he's going to get stunned in the way he's going to work, since he's so slow, the boss is taking more turns. We need that burn up to get as much damage as possible. So we're going to wait till after the boss does his first single target stun. It's not going to stun him, but after he does his first single target damage. So we're going to go over here and do this A2. And then we're going to wait. We're not going to do his A3 yet. We're not going to do the burn just yet because we want to have the burn up when he does the 2 AoE slams so we can reflect everything back. Okay, right now we're going to do A1. Normally, if it wasn't Spirit Affinity, we'd be able to hit auto. Already we could hit auto and be ready to go. So since it's Spirit, we see that slow speed right there on PainKEEper. We've got to do her differently. And it's amazing that we can do this. The only reason we can do this is because her A1 gives her a little bit of a turn meter increase. That's why we're able to make this happen. Okay, we're going to do A1 again. We're going to do A1 until Maneater is ready. So look at that. Look at that. Crazy. All right, we'll see in just a second. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, we got the stun. Now we're going to put that up. There's the burn, and there is our weaken with it. A1 here. And A1 again still. I think that's what it was. A1 there. And now we're going to do his unkillable. Watch this. 2 slams. 1, 2. Reflect back, reflect back. Look at all that damage. Look at all that damage Geomancer's doing. Now we're going to do her A3. And we're covered. We're covered for the 2 slams. Look, everybody is covered here. And a lot of people on stream were saying, yeah, this is an amazing feat of engineering. But they're glad they don't have to deal with it, right? They're glad they don't have to deal with a budget unkillable. All that damage, all that damage. Now we would do her A1 again, and then we're going to do her A2. I think we're done. We can go full auto now. She's going to do her A2 on her own. I'm pretty sure this is how we got it done, and it's how it's said to be done over there. There's the stun target right on time. So the stun target, since he doesn't have Life Drinker, he's not getting that additional. You want his HP low, right? We want his HP lowest out of that, and we got to have those stats. We got to have those HP stats we talked about in the beginning, the defense stats we talked about in the beginning. I mean, how beautiful is this? Maneater is protecting both slams. 1 Maneater. I just find it amazing. Amazing that we can have a team like this, that people can perfect something like this for Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, the hardest, most difficult clan boss out there that is really just overtuned. Straight overtuned for any in-game, even in-game players. This clan boss is way overtuned. Go into the stun target. Go into the slow boy. Look, every time he's got the burn up now for the 2 AoEs that are about to come. And this Geomancer is amazing. We're going to fast forward through this. Don't worry. We're not going to watch the whole entire thing. We don't have... we're on round 10 right now. I know you guys want to jump forward and see what he is with the damage, right? What kind of damage is Geomancer doing? If you already have a 2 Maneater comp, then put Geomancer in there. When you're done seeing this, try to fit your Geomancer in there. We will do more, right? We're going to do some more streams every single day focusing on using Geomancer on the clan boss with a 2 Maneater comp, not with a Bat Eater comp. We've already done that. If you watched my video 5 days ago, I put Geomancer in my Bat Eater comp in Relentless first, and then we put him in Savage along with a Cruel set, and then on stream we also tried him with a Toxic set. And you can see all that damage from 5 days ago. If you want to look up that video, just type in Geomancer StewGaming. You'll be able to see it. So we're going to keep playing him. But on a 2 Maneater comp, we can bring in any 3 DPS that we want. Any 3 DPS. Which is nuts considering how much damage this guy does. I want a 1 key with a 2 Maneater comp. I want a 1 key with a budget with this comp right here. I really do, but I feel like we're going to need one other epic champion that can do the kind of damage that Geomancer can do. Unless I bring in like a Draco to go with Geo, I don't think we can 1 key. I'm sure we could 1 key if we brought a Draco in with Geomancer, because he really does do like 26 million. So if Geomancer is doing 26 million on this team right now, and Fane's doing like 10 and Occult Roller's doing 15, if we brought in a Draco instead, then yeah, it's going to be a big difference. Now I did cut Fane out from doing her A2 because I wanted to make sure we could always get a burn up. I didn't want the debuffs to stack up to 10, and then we wouldn't be able to get the burn up from Geomancer. So Fane is a little limited on her damage. I'm pretty sure I locked out her A2. Because I knew Occult Roller would be putting up a lot of poisons. Fane would be putting up the decreased defense and the other debuffs. I don't know, decreased attack, whatever she does on that one attack. And I didn't want to fill it up and miss out on getting that burn. Because Geomancer just does too much damage. We can't afford that. We've got to have it in here. Right here, watch this. Did you see all those numbers already? All those numbers again? It's crazy. So if we can do a budget unkillable, and you're lucky enough to have a high DPSer to go in here. I don't know, can Turvold work? It's hard to bring in an ally pull-in comp too. Like a pull-in comp, they say here at the bottom that if you want to do an ally or counter attack can work, but it adds additional complications. If it's not tuned exactly right for each difficulty, that it's not going to work. And it's not recommended for the faint of heart. Now I'm curious. Now I want to know what's going on. Like, what do we got to do to build these different comps like that? What do we have to do to build all the different comps for all the different affinities? Because right now we could run this one on every affinity but magic. I ran it on Void. We did 41 million. I ran it on this. We did 50 something, 57 million. So we're already 2 keying. No matter what we run it on, we are 2 keying because we're using Geomancer. And he's just doing an enormous amount of damage. What else can we do to make it better? What can we do so that we don't have to worry about magic affinity? So right now we are locked out of doing magic affinity with the way that this comp is. Now if we bring then on magic affinity, Geomancer to a DPS position, and then bring Fane down to the speed of Geomancer. Okay, so right now since there's so many spirit, we could bring Fane down to Geomancer's level of gear, higher HP, lower defense. Fane would be the stun target then, but we're switching gear around. But guys, it's worth it. It's worth it to switch gear around and to do all this stuff if you have a limited roster, because you're not going to be able to do diddly squat on Ultra Nightmare. You just can't. It is too hard. It is too tuned, too high tuned. Ultra Nightmare is for even in-game players without a crazy roster. It simply is. That's why everybody wants 2 Maneaters. So sure, 2 Maneaters, I know we can do 1 key. We can do 1 key with 2 Maneaters and bring in some other people in here. PainKEEP doesn't do a lot of damage. We can get those Maneaters doing damage. We can get our other 3 doing some more damage. We don't have to worry about this slow boy in here. Yeah. Let's focus on this one first, though. Let's focus on the budget one and see if we can play around and maybe do some more. I saw Deadwood playing around with Rowan. Rowan as the stun target. Now, I don't know if that's increasing damage. I don't think it does. But we've got to be able to find somebody else. There's got to be somebody else besides Occult Roller that we can bring in here for more damage. Let Fane do her A2, A3, put up some more poisons. Let Geomancer do what he's doing with this beautiful dwarf. And then we bring in somebody else that can also bring like 20 million. Now, it might not be possible. It might not be possible unless we bring in a Brachus or a Turvold or Draco Morph or somebody that really has our Lord Shazar, right? We could bring in Lord Shazar, lock out his A2 so he doesn't take additional turns, and then just have him do his A1 with all these debuffs up. We could do that, but those are legendary champions that I don't usually like to play. But if it'll work, somebody out there is going to have it. Oh, there's a team with this team. Actually, I heard of a Kreela. Right? What was it called? Kreela. It's called Kreela something. Budget Kreela? Budget Kreela or something like that. There is a Kreela Witch Arm team with this one, and it can do a 1 key. That's what I heard. So we'll try that. We will try different 1 legendaries in there because people will have this team with 1 legendaries, and they'll be with that 1 legendary, and they'll be very happy to see this. they'll be happy to see a 1-key Ultra Nightmare. That's the goal. If you know about those teams, let me know down below. But Deadwood Jedi's website, do like I did. Look at all those numbers. Look at all the speeds you need and make this team. It does work. It really does work. I had people coaching me though on stream, so it was a little easier for me. Like learning this spirit affinity right here that I just did is the hardest one. If it's not spirit, like if you just saw what I did, and you can copy what I just did with the Spirit Affinity, with the PainKEEper, and with the rotation we use, the rest of the affinities are easy. You want those rewards. You want those great rewards from Ultra Nightmare Max Chest, and you want it from the Nightmare Max Chest. And this is going to help a lot of people who don't know about it. A lot of you might already know about it, and if you are using this comp, then put in Geomancer, because he is the man. All right, I'm going to cut it. We're at 38. I'm going to jump to the end. I'm going to play a little bit of music for you guys, and then I'm going to be out. Thank you all for the support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I will see you all in a video soon.